Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Caleb Black, Luke the Big Dog Williams, the Mighty Max Fury. It is the redemption round, bracket 8 of the greatest of all-time tournament. Max, who won between Kevin Nash and the Immortal One, Hulk Hogan?
I ain't eat shit for this, but I'm going with Kevin Nash.
You ain't shit for me. I'm literally one of the biggest Kevin Nash fans ever, so I ain't mad.
And I was a big Diesel fan, so we're good. All right, so that leaves us. What is our first round, or our first semifinal?
That's going to leave us with The Rock versus Edge.
Ooh, man. Did you call the coin toss?
Heads.
Tails it is.
I'll start. I'll start.
You've got The Rock.
I'll start. I got The Rock.
All right.
Good. Go.
The Rock is a third-generation wrestling superstar from the greatest Samoan family in the history of professional wrestling. That is not what got him to the top. Not only did he walk in with the lineage of being a professional wrestler in the greatest professional wrestling family ever, he didn't rest on his laurels. He worked his way from the bottom. When people were chanting, "Die, Rocky, die," he found a way to turn it around and skyrocket to the top of the professional wrestling business at a period where the wrestling business earned more money than it ever had or ever has before. Main evented 3 WrestleManias. Main evented, considered the main event match of another WrestleMania that wasn't really the main event twice. Well, actually, technically, main evented another one against John Cena. Transcended from his greatest feud ever with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and 15 years later went into the second highest drawing gate ever in professional wrestling in his first main event against John Cena. And that's a fact. On paper, that one match drew more money in history for one event than any other match. And it's because The Rock's name was on the marquee.
Time. Even though I think I gave you like an extra 10 seconds. But
all right, Luke.
All right.
You got Edge.
And go.
Edge. When compared to The Rock, it seems like it's an uphill battle, but it is in fact not. The Rock, although he did compete in the Royal Rumble, did not win the Royal Rumble, was overturned. Edge has won the Royal Rumble. Edge has also done several things, twice, has done several things The Rock has not done. Edge was King of the Ring. Edge was Money in the Bank, twice. Edge has won TLC matches, a match that The Rock had never competed in.
That's right.
Also on top, Edge had the biggest, most emotional return in the last decade, if not longer. Edge also can still go. He isn't in Hollywood making movies. He is a professional wrestler. And he will tell you as much. That's not a knock on The Rock. Nope. That's just fact. Edge also, while being 49 years old, went 1 hour and 7 minutes in the Royal Rumble this year without taking a single break.
Time.
Well, while he is still the most electrifying man in all of entertainment,
it's true.
He is not the winner of this matchup.
It's hard not to argue. Not that I don't like The Rock, because I fucking love The Rock.
If you're watching, when
you look at the fact that when you look at the fact of the match types, Edge has done far more,
much more versatile.
Rock didn't need it. Didn't need the gimmick matches.
But also, you couldn't put Rock in the same position and get it over the same way.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess you could, but we don't know.
Right. Well, it never happened. It won't ever.
Right.
So,
no, especially not now. He's making $45 billion a year.
I went through with Edge. I call Tails.
It's Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Nash.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
That's actually a match I'd like to see in
real life. My God. Every day. For the next year.
Tails it is.
I defer.
I said Tails.
Oh, I thought you said heads. I'm sorry.
I said Tails. But you can go first.
Okay.
Tails.
And we'll go at 20. His name is Max. His name is Go.
Drew McIntyre actually comes from the archetype of a guy like Kevin Nash when he returned to the WWE as Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard. He took the thing Kevin Nash did and did it twice as good, leading to a World Heavyweight title reign that still has yet to end. While it was upended for a month as World Heavyweight Champion, consecutive pay-per-view defenses in 1 year, Drew McIntyre is currently the #1 guy of 2019, 2020, and 2021. Can still effectively main event WrestleManias for the next, 10, 15, 20 years? Drew McIntyre, in his current current position in the company is relegated to being the guy who holds the flagship show on his shoulders. Monday Night Raw, a program that's been going on for 30-plus years. Drew McIntyre is at the head and will be at the head after tonight, after Fastlane, into WrestleMania. What's Kevin Nash do? No, goddamn thing.
I'm about to tell you what Kevin Nash
does. Sitting in his giant mansion, fucking his 40-year-old wife.
Right?
Argue that.
All right, I'm going to try not to sling much shit.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash, like we said before, you said Drew McIntyre is the Kevin Nash of now. But that's just what you have said. He is the Kevin Nash of this generation because Kevin Nash is the measuring stick of big men in professional wrestling, without a doubt. Ooh, of course, sans The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Kevin Nash today could get in a ring and would sell tickets. Kevin Nash also, while Drew McIntyre, yes, has been consistently the heavyweight champion since WrestleMania, and that is true with minus the 1 month. Kevin Nash, who has Drew McIntyre really wrestled? Kevin Nash wrestled the likes of The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Triple H, and got wins on everybody. Drew McIntyre has Randy Orton, and that's pretty much it. Kevin Nash, in my opinion, is what, like I said before, is the biggest big man in professional wrestling, one of the best. I do like Drew McIntyre, but, I mean, facts are facts, statistics are statistics.
Time.
I want to allow rebuttal so bad.
Inherently wrong, but I'll let it go.
I don't think so.
You know what? Can we make a special exception and have a rebuttal here? Because I've got a great argument.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
No. We'll let him make his choice, and then I'll have you describe.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
Because I don't want to sway either way.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I think I got to go with Drew.
I'm okay with that.
Good answer.
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
Here's my point.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre has defended the world title against consistently former world champions. To say that he hasn't beaten anybody is unfair.
No. What caliber athletes is what I meant by
If you
that.
look at the state of the business, the caliber of athletes he's defended the belt against are relative to the same people Kevin Nash
Yes,
is
but the champions that he has defended the title with in recent memory is people who got the title because they were flip-flopping the title. When Kevin Nash was world champion, the title didn't change every 6 months.
He's also the least drawing world champion in WWF
You can't push
history.
the title, the people like Keith Lee and Sheamus, and now Jeff Hardy
Seth
tonight.
Rollins, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar,
Okay.
Bobby Lashley.
Hold on. Are any of those
Shinsuke.
Triple H caliber athletes?
You're going to say Brock Lesnar isn't?
Shawn Michaels?
Seth Rollins isn't?
Bret Hart?
Okay, I don't have one for that.
Kurt Angle?
Yeah,
Let's be real. No, like I said, I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all.
Next round.
Even though
Possible preview.
it really is. It really is. Edge versus Drew McIntyre.
Ooh, shit, yeah.
Caleb, call it in the air.
Heads.
This will be good.
Heads it is.
Go.
You're going to let me go.
I'm going to let you go.
All right, I'll go with the 40.
Yep.
Edge versus Drew McIntyre. That should be fun.
That's going to happen.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Go.
Edge. God, this is going to be so hard for me.
It is, yeah.
Edge has everything in spades, but Drew McIntyre also has everything that Edge has. They're both in the prime of their careers, and that's weird to say with a man who's 49 years old, but Edge still has a lot to go. Edge also hasn't been in the wrestling business for the last, 12 years?
Yeah.
And come back like he never left. The man's conditioning, the way his body is toned and cut, is he has the body of a 26-year-old and the mind of a veteran, which means the sky's the limit for Edge. These new guys, the limit's the sky. That's all I'm saying about that. Drew McIntyre is great. Edge is Hall of Fame class
He's a Hall of Fame
professional wrestler. Also, it's hard for me to argue because I don't care either way. Championships, accolades, movie roles, you name it, he's got it above Drew McIntyre in spades.
Well, here's your time.
Thank you. To be fair. All right, and Go.
When Drew McIntyre left the WWE, he traveled the world to regain his caliber of being a professional wrestler. And while it's admirable that Edge made his return, Edge had an opportunity to go someplace else and chose the comfortable return. No one can knock that. He makes money and he gets paid, but Drew McIntyre went out of his way to go other places. Why? To re-earn the respect of the wrestling fans. Got back into the WWE and then took his spot to the top. He didn't come back as a legend, re-sign his name to a contract, and win the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre earned his spot in the Rumble, earned his world title, and no one can take away Edge's momentous return. But when you talk about the hard work and the dedication, starting at the bottom not once, but twice, and Drew McIntyre still made it to the top. Drew McIntyre also tomorrow is going to go on Monday Night Raw after he wins the world title tonight and wrestle again. Edge might make an appearance tonight, and he might make an appearance on Raw.
It's rebuttal time.
It is rebuttal time.
I'm so
Yes,
glad
sir.
it's rebuttal time. You want to flip that coin, or do you just want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
All right. Give me
5. Go.
Okay. Speaking of what you spoke on, like I said, I'm not going to sling a whole lot of shit because I like both wrestlers. Edge, yes, he took the comfortable gig for the WWE. Granted, while also the WWE was allowed to, is able to supply him with the money needed to support his family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Edge has never been in a scandal other than the Matt Hardy thing. I'm talking about no steroids, no alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. Drew McIntyre cannot say the same thing. Drew McIntyre had an alcohol problem, which is what got him sent away. And that's not knocking the man, but that's fact.
Yeah.
Anytime you're
Rebuttal
ready,
time.
30 seconds. I'll go at 12.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I'll wait 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Drew McIntyre, yes, had an alcohol problem, but overcame it and returned. You want to talk about Edge being comfortable and taking the money? He got offered the exact same money to go to AEW. He chose the comfortable route. Drew McIntyre could have made money anywhere else. He could have gone to Japan. He took the hard road, hit the indies, rebuilt himself. And there's no talking about how Edge is recovered because, let's face it, Edge came back from a career-ending injury at 50 years old and is in the main event. But Drew McIntyre never had to walk. Damn.
Shouldn't have sang the praises. He took like 12 seconds.
But I appreciate it.
Hey, it's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair.
This is a hard
yeah,
pick.
this is and honestly, this is an odds-on favorite for the final tournament.
Yeah,
if you ask me.
Also, the best part is that we could legitimately see this match in a couple of months.
We could see it, very soon.
Yeah.
Could also see a unification of it very soon.
God, I hope.
Boys, I gotta go with Drew McIntyre on that one.
You'll take it.
I'm good with
Drew McIntyre.
I was going to. I was rooting for
Hey, so in fairness, no one was going to win or lose in that argument.
There's a lot that goes into that that I won't mention because I'll save it for you guys.
Yeah.
But
well, ladies and gentlemen, Drew McIntyre takes the final spot. We're down to our 8 competitors for the final tournament.
Be sure to go back, watch all the episodes, get all the information, because this tournament will not conclude until the week of WrestleMania.
Make sure you like, subscribe, find us on Twitter at ProWrestlingTD, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/ProWrestlingThrowdown, send us an email at ProWrestlingThrowdown@gmail.com. Stay tuned for more content from the bad guys.